Hey kids, today we're going to take a look at a comment that we received that basically addresses, well, the comment basically said something like, I can't play minis because my fingers won't fit inside the space of the frets. Really? Let's do some mini math. Today's a cheap one. All we need is a pen, a micrometer, some tape, and some scrap paper. We're going to measure the 1st fret, the 5th fret, the 9th fret, the 12th fret, the 15th fret, the 17th fret, the 19th fret, and the 21st fret. If this seems like overkill, it's because I really want to make sure that we get this project correct. I know it looks like all I'm doing is writing down a bunch of numbers, but what I'm trying to do is establish the baseline of the full-size neck as far as the spacing between the frets goes. Once I have all of these measurements all the way up the neck, I'm going to be able to measure the mini guitars and compare them as to where they would fit on the fretboard. These are the measurements of my American Standard Strat, which is a 25.5-inch scale. The guitar that I've selected for the minis is a 22-inch scale CNZ Audio ML Tele, which is a basic mini Telecaster. I'm going to make the same measurements up the neck as far as the distance between the frets goes, and then compare it to the full size. These are those numbers. All these measurements are in millimeters. I understand you measured, but what does it mean? I may not be a visual person, but I appreciate those that are. The 1st fret on the mini is basically the 4th fret on the full size. That's the only spacing that you lack on the mini. Now the concern comes in the upper frets. Because of the shortened scale, they do get tight, but not as tight as you think. The 22nd fret on the Strat, the teeny tiny one, strikes at the 19th fret on the Telecaster. Basically, the full length of the Telecaster fretboard would be a 24 fret, 25.5 scale length guitar. If that's going to make a difference, you must be a very precise player. Before you even start to type, I can already hear it. Yeah, but what about them there tiny guitars? Let's do the same thing here. Again, take measurements all the way up the neck, and we're going to compare one to the other directly, using tape to mark it off so it's easy for us to see. Now the scale on this one is almost 7 inches shorter, so it really ought to make a huge difference. The 1st fret on the Vox strikes on the 6th fret of the full-size guitar. The 22nd fret of the full size is the same size as the 15th fret on the Vox. That's mostly in your range already. Yeah, but what if it's not a size by length thing, but a size by width thing? Really? All right. Prepare to be amazed. Okay, I have to be completely honest with you. I really expected the numbers to scream at me on this. But look, especially at the Tele, the final results were a shock to me. As far as the distance between the strings, the narrowest neck, the full-size Stratocaster. The widest was the 22-inch scale Telecaster. Oh man. Yeah, but what about the width of the fretboard? Again, I was not expecting it to come out this way. When I measured everything, I had to go back and measure it all twice, sometimes 3 times. And ultimately what it boils down to, on average, the widest fretboard is the Tele. 22 frets, 22-inch scale. Much more room to play than the full-size Strat. Now, before you go hurling accusations, I did not pick this guitar expecting this result. I pulled it solely at random. So here's the interesting truth. If you've got fat fingers, you need to give up on those full-size 25.5 or 24.7 scale guitars and pick yourself up one of the C&Z Telecasters, or at least one that has that 22-inch scale neck, because the fretboard's wider, and it'll be easier for you to play. Not where we thought we'd land, was it?